The murder of Dorothy Jane Scott. Born April 23, 1948, Dorothy was a single mother with a 4-year-old son in California. At work, Dorothy would receive phone calls from an unidentified man. The man would profess his love for her, as well as his intention to kill her. One day, he called and said to go outside because he had something for her. She went out, and there was a single dead rose on the windshield of her car. He also told Dorothy he would get her and cut her up into bits so no one will ever find her. Because of these calls, Dorothy began taking karate lessons. On May 28, 1980, at 9 p.m., Dorothy was at a staff meeting and her colleague Conrad was not feeling well. Dorothy and another colleague drove him to the hospital. Conrad was suffering from a black widow bite. On the way to the hospital, Dorothy stopped by her house to check on her son. Conrad was discharged at around 11 p.m. and given a prescription, still not feeling well. Dorothy offered to walk and bring the car back to her two colleagues. Her colleagues filled the prescription and waited by the exit, but Dorothy did not come back, so they walked towards the car park. Dorothy's car sped towards them, but the headlights blinded them. They were unable to see who was driving and assumed Dorothy had an emergency with her son. After a few hours of not hearing from Dorothy, her colleagues reported her missing. On May 29th at 4:30 a.m., Dorothy's car, a white 1973 Toyota station wagon, was found burning in an alley 10 miles from the hospital. There was no sign of Dorothy or anyone else who may have been with her at the scene. Around a week after Dorothy's disappearance, her parents started to receive phone calls from an unidentified man stating,
"I've got her,"
or
"I've killed her."
Nearly every Wednesday afternoon, these calls would occur. However, in April 1984, Dorothy's father answered the call and they stopped. The caller did not stay on the line long enough for the police to be able to trace his calls. On August 6, 1984, human and dog remains were discovered by a construction worker. The remains were charred, leading police to believe they had been there for 2 years when a bushfire had occurred at the site. In 1982, Dorothy's watch was found at the scene, said to have stopped at 12:30 a.m. This would have been an hour after Dorothy's vehicle was last seen by her colleagues in 1980. On August 14th, dental records identified the remains as belonging to Dorothy, but a cause of death could not be identified. On August 22nd, a memorial service was held for Dorothy. It is believed by many that the anonymous caller was responsible for Dorothy's death, but no one has ever been identified. Hopefully one day, Dorothy will get the justice she deserves. Hi everyone, SinisterShaf here. Thank you for watching. If you have any case recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, stay sinister.